Hey man, what it is, what it ain't. We here for another episode of the From the Jump podcast. I'm your host DJ here with a few of my co-hosts and bro hosts, but you know how I go though. Today we got a bunch of NBA topics. Obviously, you know the playoffs is getting closer and closer. Everybody's looking, fighting, battling to get those last few spots. We got a few teams a game or two out of the playoffs. We got a few teams trying to make the play in. So a bunch of interesting stuff going on. But yeah, man. Today, of course, we got our two co-hosts. We got our man, Josh, a.k.a. Black Jesus, in the building.
Yes, sir. What's up?
What's up? What's up? How you doing today? Doing all right today?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm ready to talk some basketball.
Yes, sir. Talk some of this Philly stuff going on. But also, we have Big Bro, you know who it is, the Big Bucket himself.
Big Meech, huh?
Yes, sir.
Off-brand, great value.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. So, man, obviously, we've been going for a little bit. You know, the NBA was kind of stagnant. You know, everybody was just kind of staying where they were. Nobody really fell off too much. But now it's getting closer and closer down to the wire. So, to start off, Josh, why don't you tell us about your Philadelphia 76ers? Obviously, you guys got some stuff to be excited about a little bit, so talk to me.
Yeah, man, we got Embiid back past couple games. You know, he's been looking good, been putting up the board or, you know, putting up the buckets. And Tyrese Maxey still putting up the buckets too. Last game got 37, 9, and 11, I want to say, or 7 and 11. He's doing really good for the team. I mean, like I was just telling DJ before we started, if we don't make the playoffs, then bye Tobias. You know, we're gonna do a lot of restructuring in that position. And you know, you brought up a good point that we probably like Kelly Oubre more for him to be a starter. And I think he really likes the Philly vibe. You know, after calling, you know, all the refs, you know, out of their name, they mamas out of their name. So, you know, we love that attitude, you know, backing up the coach with Nick Nurse. But, you know, we're 8th right now. And good thing that we beat Miami because, you know, Miami's going to be really close to getting a secured play-in spot. So we're right behind them. They're at 43 and 34. We're at 43 and 35. So hopefully, you know, they slack off on the ball. They you know, lose some games. We win more since we got Embiid on the floor. But, you know, I'm a Philly fan, so we're used to disappointment when it's looking all good. So we'll see.
I feel you, Meech.
Josh, I wouldn't be so confident in Philly if with them being an 8 seed and whether they jump up to the 7, Heat go to 8th, they would play each other in the play-in. So
they would.
You got to look out
for
that. But yeah, I mean, my team is finding a groove, finding a rhythm at the right time. This is the time of the year that you're supposed to hit your stride. You want to go into the playoffs, play-in, playoffs, whatever you want to hit this time of the year, playing your best basketball. And I think we are. We have the second best record. I think we're playing the second or third best team since the All-Star break. So we're playing the best ball. Our offense is rolling. LeBron is healthy, relatively healthy. AD is relatively healthy. So you got those two guys healthy at this time of the year. You know, I feel confident against anybody except Denver.
For sure. I mean, D'Lo's been playing out of his mind lately. You know,
trade deadline. D'Lo is, you know, once he was on the trade, you know, his name was in them trade rumors. He started balling out of his mind.
He was like, "I'm not trying to leave here again. I got back." You know, but he's been every time LeBron sits out or rests, he's been cooking up. But man,
what about the Pels?
You know, the Pels gonna do Pel shit. So yeah, you know, we're here in the last 2 months. You know, if we rewind the clock a little bit, the last time we talked, everybody was healthy. Since then, Brandon Ingram got a knee-to-knee injury. Obviously hurt my boy Josh in fantasy.
It was bad.
Yes, sir. And then, you know, I don't know who it was. I think they were playing the Magic, and Gary Harris slipped, I think, on a Zion crossover. And when he slipped, he just tried to dive for the ball. and just kind of try to tap it away. It wasn't anything malicious. It was just one of those things. You're still trying to stay in the play and help as much as you can, but then ran into Zion's knee, so then he missed last game. We lost to the Spurs.
Oh, he missed the next game because of that.
Yeah.
Attempted that was
Yeah.
reckless. But go ahead.
Yes. Right. So, I mean, he ended up missing a game. I guess our organization thought it's the Spurs. We can get that. It shouldn't be too difficult. But I don't think they've been watching any Wemby basketball because that boy he's on the way. So right now we went from the 5 spot, and we have dropped, and now we are currently at 7. That whole Dallas to us is a 2-game difference. So it's real tight, and I will say Phoenix is playing the best ball they probably played as of late. I don't know what it is with Devin Booker against the Pelicans. That man has had 3 straight games of 50 points against us. I don't know what he has against us, what we did to that. Maybe it was when Zion did that windmill and pissed bro off. At the end of the game, something happened, and we triggered Devin Booker, and he will not let up. Like, chill out, bro. Like, you got Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal. Relax.
He take it personal whenever he play off.
Yeah, bro. 3 straight games against the same team with 50+ points. That's
pretty crazy.
You got to chill out.
Wild.
It's not like y'all don't have good wing defenders. That seems like he's making the point to have a great game against y'all.
Yes, bro. It's just being disrespectful for no reason. But that's all right. It's all right. We gonna see. We gonna see what it is. But with that being said, man, I alluded to it earlier. Victor Wembanyama having a phenomenal season. I think people. It's hard because I think everybody expects people to kind of be like LeBron when they come out and they have so much hype. And don't get me wrong, he has shown flashes of greatness. Of course, almost had a quadruple double the other night. Things like that. And I think he will definitely be the first person in a long time to get one of those. Out of the Kobe's, the Jordans, the LeBrons, he'll get it. Obviously he can get 10 blocks easily, but I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on y'all's expectations of him at the beginning of the year and what you see from him now. Meech, I'll start with you. Talk to me.
I think he's done a really good job at finding his spots and just playing his game, and not trying to be confined to playing the NBA game. And he's an unorthodox player. And a step back 3 and with a man draped all over him, that's his game. I mean, he's 7'6", so he's not trying to find the best shots. He's trying to find his shot. I tweeted this last week. If his teammates didn't hate him, man, he would be the best player in the NBA. Like,
absolutely,
I think he will be in that conversation next year or the year. Like, he's going to be in the when they have those conversations, who would you start your franchise with today? And then they'll say Luka or Giannis or KD, blah blah blah. Wemby is going to be in those conversations.
Absolutely,
He's so effective when you run. I don't understand. I feel like Popovich is like. I feel like there's like some backdoor, some discussions with the other players to maybe purposely look him off sometimes, or maybe they're just salty and don't want to give him the ball every single possession. But he doesn't get tired. He's 7'6". Nobody can guard him. Give him the ball and let him make the plays out of it. Like DJ said, it's hard because his record sucks, but I think that's because they don't run the offense through him. You got Devin Vassell, who they just gave a max deal, who he might think that this is his team. Keldon Johnson, who he comes off the bench now, who this kind of was his team last year.
And they paid him.
And then a bunch of role players who trying to get contracts or trying to stay in the league. So I really don't know what their direction is this year. But I think this year was just good for Wemby to find his footing and realize he can literally dominate every game. And hopefully they get a good draft pick this year, which they will. Fuck around and get another number 1 pick. And Popovich really make it an emphasis to win games next year.
Yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
for sure. Josh, talk to me.
I mean, I'm on the same boat with Meech, man. Like, you see it, you saw in the earlier games and in the midseason, like, they're not passing the ball, open looks. Like he's got a dude that's 8 inches shorter than him, like on him, passing the ball. He can literally dunk the ball without jumping, bro. Like, what are you doing not passing this monster of a player on your squad the ball? Like that just means you're playing selfish ball and you don't care that you win or lose. You just want to look good, but guess what? You look bad because y'all are losing, and you have this great asset on the team. It's like if the Cavs, when they drafted LeBron, never gave the man the ball, right? Or they gave him an opportunity to show who he could be. Like LeBron be salty and try to get out of there as fast as possible, right? So I don't like Wemby. Like he averages 21 points a game, 10 rebounds a game, 3.5 blocks a game. And led the team in steals with 1 steal a game. Like, how are you so blinded by the fact that you have such a great opportunity to win basketball games, go to the playoffs, and maybe even possibly, if y'all really work hard as fuck, like against these other teams, you could even get to the conference finals.
And all that is in limited minutes. Popovich be
Right.
resting him games. I've seen
He
him
averages
sit
29 minutes.
He's 18 years old. Why
Right.
is he load managing?
Well, I mean, I can see probably why, because like he's so lanky. Like you just got to be careful with his body type. Like if he's really running up and down the court, that could really do a number on his knees. Or like if he's playing a lot of physical ball, he could possibly get hurt because he's so lanky, kind of like the Kevin Durant.
I get it. But he's proven that he's pretty durable this year, though.
Yeah.
We've seen him like
Facts.
fall down, somebody come down on his ankle, and he hops right back up.
Right.
I think because he is so light that he's less prone to injuries. All big men and tall players do have those lower joint injuries, ankle,
Right.
et cetera,
Ankles,
like
knees.
KD, stuff like that. But and foot injuries, but as far as low managing, I mean, I think they weren't playing to win this year. Go ahead, Joe.
Right. Yeah. But my last point is like the person on the Spurs that's leading in assists is Trey Jones and his 6.1. I should see these dudes averaging, everybody on this team at least averaging 7 to 10 assists a game. Because you got Victor Wembanyama. But that's my last take on that, man. So hopefully next year Pop gets in their ass. Pause. No Diddy. About how to play actual basketball.
No, facts. I've been trying to keep up with him. Obviously I do a lot of prize picks, things of that nature. But and so I watch a lot more basketball than just my favorite team. But when it comes to Victor, it's like he's just so special, man, on both ends of the floor. Like he genuinely tries to impact the game of basketball on the defense and the offensive end of the floor. And when you see these guys, like I'm expecting a lot of the highlights I see on my phone to be hook shots, dunks, alley-oops, but it's like three-pointers, jump, like mid-range jumpers, things of that nature. And I do, like Meech, I think you brought up a great point. I think Pop is trying to make him face some adversity because there's really no adversity he's had to hit, right? Because there's no expectations on the Spurs this year to go to a finals, and it's like I'm trying to see, can I bend or break your will a little bit, because you're gonna go through things way tougher after this, because after this year there's gonna be expectations because you've had a great rookie season. You're obviously gonna win Rookie of the Year, and if you weren't a rookie and on a shitty team, they would have probably put you in top 5 for MVP votings easily, But I think Pop was trying to make him face adversity while also, like you said, position themselves for a draft pick. But I think the only issue with that this year is that there's no bona fide superstar coming out of the college basketball this year.
Unless there's somebody overseas that, the Spurs are notorious for drafting foreign players, unless there's another Luka out there or
Pop is in Paris right now.
there's I know Wemby has a younger brother.
He's like 6'8".
Yeah, as far as I agree with you. Unless there's, I I've dropped off on the men's college basketball
Right.
probably a handful of years ago. So I don't know who's. I think I've seen somebody say this is one of the worst draft classes. I think they say that every year for the last 5-6 years, but this
But
is
at least you
Yeah.
have like a Chet and it's one, or you
yes,
have a Wemby and it's one, or you get a Zion, John Morant and it's two players and
like
the
a
rest
no
of them.
doubter, like
Right,
one pick. Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And there's not one this year.
yeah.
Like, nobody, everybody's talking about that kid from damn, I don't even
The
know
Zach
who was
Edey
that.
kid.
Him, but who was the other white boy that hit all them threes to send? He had like 10 threes. I forgot what
Oh,
school he
yeah,
went
the
to.
guy for he wasn't Vanderbilt, not VCU.
But it's that black and gold colorway.
Yeah, yeah,
But yeah, him. You know what I'm saying? Those
Yeah,
guys. I
they don't even
like.
know if Bronny's
No,
going to get drafted.
right.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I like DJ Burns from North Carolina State. I think I can appreciate those Zach Randolph kinds of dudes. Very fundamental.
I
But
think the guys who stay in college the longest are the most NBA ready.
yes,
You look at like they may not be superstars in the league, but they're impact players from the jump. Like Jalen Brunson, he spent a few
yes,
years in college. Josh Hart spent a few years in college. Like those, it matters.
absolutely, absolutely. I think. Let me ask y'all this, because we never really saw it too often with San Antonio. Before we get to our next topic, how long do you think it'll be before San Antonio can pull a highly touted free agent to San Antonio? How many years?
Oof.
Who do you think? Obviously it'll probably be. I think it'll have to be like a younger star. But it's so tough because Pop doesn't run this kind of free reign offense that a lot of coaches run. So how long do you think it'll be before they're able to pair Wemby with a top tier free agent rather than hoping for somebody in the draft?
Yeah, good point.
Go
I
ahead,
think
Meech.
it could be as early as next year, but the whole mindset has to change. You look at Rick Carlisle, right? Who is an old school coach. He's played half court offenses for years with Dallas Mavericks. Uh, he's in Indiana now, and they have like the fastest pace in the. If you look at Rick Carlisle's old history, he is not a run and gun D'Antoni type of coach, but that's what the Pacers do. They no matter who the Pacers play, they put up like 140 points a game. They don't play defense. They just score, score, score. Shit, even when we played them last week, we ended up putting up 140, 150. Like they're going to make you put up a lot of points because they're going to score in a hurry. So then you're going to score. And they're not going to play defense, and it's just like that. But I did early in the year hear like kind of rumors of Trey Young possibly wanting to go to San Antonio. So I think that would be a perfect fit. He's a pick and roll monster. You at that point you have to pick your poison. Wemby on a roll or Trey Young shooting a three.
Is Trey Young free agent next year?
No, they're
He's
trying to
not.
trade him.
Yeah, he's not a free agent, but
Oh,
I
for
think Trey
trade.
Young wants to. They're wasting his. I don't say youth because Trey Young is still pretty young, but they're wasting some good years of his.
Absolutely,
And I
absolutely.
think Wemby and Trey Young will be a great dynamic. So it could be
Hell
as
yeah.
early as next year, depending on they will have to clean shop with those other guys who they got on the team and get some solidified role players or establish the roles like clear cut. Like okay, Devin Vassell, you're 6 man. How do you pay? How do you make somebody 6 man who you just gave $150 million?
Right.
Who's the you know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just
Okay, Josh.
I mean, it's gonna be tough, man. Because like looking at the list of free agents next year, I can't really imagine any of them wanting to go to San Antonio, just because they will have to like bring a lot of bulk of the work. You know what I'm saying, to try to lift up that team. And a lot of the free agents are like forwards, centers. I can't, and San Antonio really needs a 1 and a 2 guard, right? So they can actually dish it to Wemby and they know what they're doing. My long shot answer would probably maybe be maybe Drew Holiday. If
That would be like a win now situation if they
Yeah,
went for
exactly.
Drew.
Right.
Yeah.
And then who knows? Because this dude be surprising us. James Harden. Who knows? Maybe he don't like being on the Clips, and but he loves the LA lifestyle and all that stuff. But he can make an impact on that team. Bring a lot of veteran knowledge. I mean, he's a shooter. Great with the passes, but everybody else, D'Lo's probably going to want to stay in LA. Malik Monk, that's not probably someone I really want to try to bring onto the squad right now.
Yeah.
Bruce Brown, maybe. Klay Thompson, he's going to probably stay at the Warriors. Probably be a bench player. But yeah,
It's no really,
much
no
of my
really
take,
great.
yeah.
It's gonna have to be via trade.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
So, with that being said, off of Josh's point, if I had to make a trade and given the bullshit that he's done, but with the basketball IQ, I would say Draymond Green as a kind of a forward, a point forward. And I say that in the sense of that Pop's good with older players, veteran players. If you know his teams, he's had more a more mature in the sense of age, sense of players, and then you get somebody that knows and has played his entire career by getting the best players the ball.
Yes.
Granted, he may do some dumb shit on the side, and I understand.
He'd be missing more games than playing.
That's true. I think
Good point.
I think
He has played that role of being I want to say fourth wheel sometimes, fourth wheel,
Yes.
in getting the best players. So getting Wemby the ball will be Draymond's. He'd average 15 assists a game.
Right. And that's the thing I think Draymond can impact, because I think especially with how young that team is, I don't want to say he's big dog, but it's like he's that person to go over there, and I forgot who it was. Oh, it was Russell Westbrook when he got to the Wizards, and he's Bradley Beal said in a clip where they were going up and down the court playing fives, and Russell Westbrook had just got there, wasn't even dressed out for practice. He was just watching, and he walked in the middle of the court and said, "What the fuck are y'all doing? This is Bradley Beal. This is an all-star. This is this, and that. And y'all made 5 trips up and down the court, and he ain't touched the ball one time."
Right.
I think Draymond would bring that to San Antonio, and even I think Pop could. Pop's dealt with some personalities, a few like Dennis Rodman's and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like
Kawhi Leonard,
Mm-hmm.
Steven Jackson.
Yeah.
He's dealt with some DeJounte Murray. Like he'll put he's known to put players, or deal with personality players or put them through the ringer. He ain't scared to do that.
Right. And so I think Draymond, again, as the point forward, somebody that has size and can. I think that would be great for him also with his defense, because you have Wemby, you know what I'm saying, that kind of back you up, and you can back him up, and with your IQ, you can help on that defensive end of the ball. Okay. So I would say Draymond in that instance, because they're kind of ready to kick him out, and Steph's trying to be, the nice diplomatic guy. And
I bet you they regret signing, because they signed Draymond when they shipped off Jordan Poole. I knew what was going to happen. I knew that they were going to re-sign Draymond. And Klay was on a decline, and that's why he hadn't signed a deal yet. So he's a free agent. If they could go back, it probably would have been a better idea to trade Draymond and keep Jordan Poole and re-sign Klay. That makes all the sense in the world. They would be a completely different team. I'm not saying you can find another Draymond, because I think he's kind of one of one. But there's plenty of players who can do that skill set, kind of a combo guard 1 through 5. He's not a great shooter. He's not a great passer. He's not a great shot. He's not great at one thing, but kind of being that general. And you can.
Great at getting ejected.
That's true too, but they need somebody that can distribute the ball. That is what they're missing. That's why I completely agree. Because if you get Trae Young, you kind of get the total package. Obviously, without the height, you get spacing, you get passing ability. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Trae Young has kept a lot of dudes in Atlanta by getting them points. You know what I'm saying?
People forget that he What he led the nation NCAA in assists, and
Points
he
and
was
assists.
points and assists, and he's
Sounds
been
about right.
averaging close to double digit assists since he's been in the
I think,
league. Like
yeah, last year he posted something where he had the most total assists in the NBA. So,
underrated passer
for
for
sure.
sure.
So last but not least, we're gonna go to what right now is the
Mm-hmm.
well, actually, the East is officially solidified as far as who's in the top 10. Brooklyn has
Mm-hmm.
been eliminated. Toronto, Charlotte, Washington, and Detroit have
Yeah.
all been eliminated. Currently, Miami, Philly, Chicago, and Atlanta are in the play-in. They're only Miami and Philly are only 2 games behind. Well, Philly's 2.5 games behind Orlando, who, shout out to Paolo Banchero, is the number 4 seed in the East. But
Mm-hmm.
if the play-in were to start tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
give me who wins Miami versus Philly, Chicago versus Atlanta, and then give me the winner of the last game, which is basically the winner out of the 2 losers.
Yeah.
And we'll go to Western Conference after that. So, with that being said, Josh, I will start with you first, since obviously your team will be playing in that game. One game, or well, as far as a guaranteed playoff spot if you win, Miami and Philly. Who do you got?
It's hard, man, because we're also dealing with some injuries. But I mean, I still got to put faith in my Phillies or in my Sixers, bro. Embiid's back. Tyrese Maxey is on fire with 25 points a game. Embiid still has a 53% field goal rate or field goal percentage. So I'm still gonna put 76ers on top of the Heat.
Okay. Now give me Chicago versus Atlanta. DeMar DeRozan, Vucevic, Alex Caruso versus DeJounte Murray, Clint Capella, Jalen Johnson.
Oh, Atlanta, easy.
Yeah.
Even though
Okay. Okay.
it hurts me to say it because originally from Chicago 302, but Atlanta's got a better roster. They just do.
Okay.
In most positions, except for the small forward spot because DeMar DeRozan's but yeah, Clint Capella is gonna get the boards over Vucevic because of the height. Vucevic is a better shooter than Clint, but if we talk about getting boards, I'll put my life on for Clint Capella. I mean,
Kobe White did go down with injury, I believe. A day or
Kobe
two
White's
ago.
out. Yep.
That's my guy, Kobe
Lonzo's
White.
still out. Alex Caruso's kind of hurt right now. And like Alex Caruso's your starting small forward, and DeMar's on the power forward. So, I'll take the Heat.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you got the Heat versus Atlanta, or the Heat versus Chicago. Who are you taking for that? The two
Heat
losers.
versus Chicago. The Heat. Oh, the Heat. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bam on the bio is going to eat.
Okay. I like that. Meech, talk to me. Give me yours. Miami versus Philly, and why?
Man, Philly is in a tough spot, man.
Always is.
If Philly wins, right? Philly beats Miami, which I think Joel Embiid has to. He got to have a 40-point game for them to beat Miami because Jimmy Butler's going to activate. You know how this nigga do. Then your reward is playing the Bucks first round. I mean, that's
But I mean, you know how people been talking about the
Bucks
Bucks
are
lately.
Yeah, the Bucks are up and down. That's fair, but that's
They still got Dame Dollar.
Yeah, for Dame to come for Joel Embiid just to come back and now first round you playing against fucking Giannis and Dame, it's tough. You'd rather play against the lower seeds, of Bulls or Hawks trying to get in if they were the top seed if he didn't get hurt. But I have the Sixers beating the Heat. I got Joel Embiid having a 40+ game, them beating the Heat. They're getting locking down that 7 seed. I have Atlanta beating Chicago because Atlanta's been playing really well, even after Trae Young went down. It's the Eastern Conference, so they have a negative record and they'll still, be in the play-in, which we can't really control that. But I got Atlanta beating Chicago to try and get the 8 seed, and I got Miami beating Atlanta.
Okay.
Unless DeJounte Murray has one of these games that he's been having over the last several weeks, shooting 40 shots, having 40 points, he might have one of those nights. But I got Miami getting that 8 seed, and we'll get a classic Miami Celtic first round. Those are rivals. So, so that's what I got.
No, I agree
Miami
wholeheartedly.
Celtics would be a crazy matchup. I'd love to watch that.
First
Yeah,
round, right?
always.
So I'm gonna go ahead. So we all three are in agreement here. I think the Western Conference play-in is gonna be a little more interesting, but I will say this, and I will go first. I know what Meech is gonna say, and I agree. I'm not arguing that shit. I'm not. You're. I know what you. You know what?
How
Let's
you know
get it
what
out the way. Let's get it out the way right now. Get out the way right
All
now.
right, go ahead.
Pelicans versus the Lakers. I agree. There it is. Meech.
All right. We agree the Lakers will beat the Pels to get the
That's
second seed.
hilarious.
Okay.
Okay.
That's
Now,
if it starts. All right, go ahead. Finish the rest of your
if it
take.
was to start tomorrow.
Yeah.
Right. So, Sacramento and Golden State. Tell me who and why.
Oh, I think that's an easy one.
I think Golden State. Malik Monk is out for the rest of the season. He had an MCL injury. And remember, Golden State played Sacramento in the playoffs last year. I think they went to seven games.
Seven
But
games.
they had Malik Monk, who had a great playoff performance as well.
For sure.
Golden State has, if you don't know, they're resting Steph Curry today. Rest. Now you thinking, why would you rest somebody at this point in the season? It's because they know that they're going to be the 10th seed.
Yeah.
There ain't no way around it. So they're trying to get ready for that potential matchup against Sacramento or the Lakers.
Absolutely.
Or they're getting ready for the play-in. So I think Steph Curry is going to be activated. Klay Thompson's playing great. Draymond, as long as this nigga don't choke nobody out, he'll be on the court. That's it. I got a Golden State beating Sac, and then a Golden State and Pels. Listen, man.
Wait, you got Sac winning? You said Golden State and Pels. Oh, you said Golden State and Pels. I don't know why I thought you said Sac
I
and
got
Pels.
Golden State beating Sac to play for
Yeah.
the 8th spot against the Pels. And listen, I don't know what's going to happen. As long as Zion out there, Brandon Ingram's not back yet, right?
Not yet. He
No.
will be. He will be.
Man,
He will be back for that. And
That's
I will
tough.
say, I don't know, because Harrison Barnes, I don't know what that nigga does when he play us. He act like he playing on that first Golden State team when they win a championship. He be able to play some damn defense them games. And it's not my turn, so Josh, just go, bro. If I lose it, I'm going to lose it.
I'm actually going to be opposite. I think Sacramento will win over the Warriors. Just for the fact that Sabonis is a monster in the paint.
That's
He's
a good
going to
point.
get you double doubles every single game and high double doubles. He can get you like a 20 and 15 or a 22 and 15.
You think Draymond disrupts that?
No. Other than he's going to try to get the ball, but then he's going to foul out. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just going to be doing some dumb stuff and get benched, or whatever the case may be.
That's going to be a good one, because didn't that nigga step on his chest last year?
Yep,
He
That
did.
was-
He did.
That'll be
that
actually
fake
very,
jump. He grabbed my shit,
Yeah.
and then Sabonis was out for like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I got to watch that one. That's going to be a good one.
But yeah, and then they got Warriors got Chris Paul. Can't shy away from that. He's a great basketball mind, a great assist player. But I think with just the way the averages and the scoring has been going, I really want to put a leg up on the Kings. For this
Okay.
one.
So you got the Kings beating the Warriors.
Yep.
Now Kings versus Pels, because me and DJ both agreed Lakers are going to beat Pels.
Right.
So
Happens
Pels
every
and
time.
Kings will play
Pel-
for the 8th seed. Pels
Yeah.
or Kings?
If we're talking with a healthy Brandon Ingram, I think I would probably take the Pels as well.
I would too.
Thank
Yeah.
God. Thank
The
God.
And with the health and a healthy Zion,
The Pels should win anyway, right? Like the Pels should beat them without Ingram. They have more depth than Sacramento. Malik Monk is a very, very important piece for them, and it's really
Yeah.
it's gonna they're gonna see it
I think
because that when Fox was off, Monk was on,
Right.
or
Yeah.
or they both were on and keeping their team in the game because Fox will have 40, Monk will have 40. They just both and Monk doesn't even start, but he finishes games. They play together. They've been playing. They played together in college, so they got a really good, dynamic,
rapport.
good, chemistry together. Go ahead, DJ.
I'm gonna just say that the Pels versus Sacramento is gonna be tough. That's why I really wanted us to go ahead and secure a top spot. Obviously, we still have time, but we're talking about if it's
Right.
were to start tomorrow. But people, I think, extremely and like I don't even know how to put it, like underestimate De'Aaron Fox's defensive ability, especially on smaller guards or how quick and fast he is. I have a feeling De'Aaron is gonna disrupt CJ McCollum's game to a point where CJ might have 15, 16, 17, not the 20, 25 we'd probably like to see from him. And it's going to be up to the Trey Murphys and the Herb Jones to hit their shots on the Kevin Herters and stuff like that,
Right.
And I think that is what's going to be our biggest challenge. I think Sabonis, his physicality and surprisingly going up against one of the shorter centers, even though Sabonis is really a 4, like Bam, but they play him at the 5. I think he'll be able to play fairly well against him. Zion's going to do Zion stuff, but obviously Sabonis is going to outperform Valanciunas.
Yeah.
I think De'Aaron Fox is going to impact the game on both ends a lot more than CJ's just going to score. And I think it's going to come down to our role players outplaying them and our role players actually getting up to play defense on the shooters that they have. Because Keegan Murray can shoot that thing. Herter can shoot that thing.
Herter's out for the season as well.
Is
by
he?
the way? Yep.
Okay. Well,
So that's why.
I don't want to say good, but
Yeah.
and then Harrison Barnes.
But you said Harrison Barnes is a Pelicans killer.
He's a Pelicans killer. He tightens up. He played like he's just. I love Harrison Barnes since he came out of North Carolina. That man will play his role better than anybody will play their role with not a smile or a frown on his face.
Yeah,
that's what he did. Yes, very professional. Like that's the way he played in Golden State when he got traded. Nothing bad to say. Went over to the Kings, got a bag, and he just does his role. And he waited his time, and now the Kings are finally good. And even though he's a little bit older, he can shoot the 3 at a decent clip and play defense. I'm just saying, if y'all niggas gonna keep paying PJ Tucker, they gonna pay Harrison Barnes.
Yeah, no, facts.
Right. That's
So
a good point.
that's all I got to say on
So,
that.
okay, let's say that goes as predicted. Your reward is playing the Nuggets in the first round.
I never said we was gonna do anything. I'm not saying.
Yeah, let's say they out. They out.
Like if it were to start tomorrow, that's why I'm pleading. That's why I know Zion. They got him on the Prize Picks thing to pick him today. He's not missing today. He knows they have to win the next. And the sad thing is, we're playing Phoenix, and they're right above us. And I just said Devin Booker's had 3 consecutive. What's that clip from Cat Williams? One after the
motherfucker.
So
Devin Booker have a 30-plus, 40-point game against y'all today. I believe you're a conspiracy on that one.
I'm telling you, it's happening. They raised his projections on Prize Picks, and I picked it up, even though it was started out at 26. That mug probably at 28 by now.
The good thing about the Western Conference is that I think the Clippers and Mavs are kind of going to – I think they're going to end up playing each other. Mm-hmm. Great. I want them to go at it, kill each other. Those are 2 scary teams. I'm not afraid of Phoenix because they have those 3 guys, but – that's it. They have no supporting cast. You think Bobo is going to – Bobo is not going to get playoff minutes. If he does,
No.
Brett Vogel is that's my guy.
There's
Brett
no
Vogel,
way.
but there's no way Bobo is going to get playoff minutes. But they have no one else.
You're gonna be Monty Williams' assistant coach next year. You do that shit.
Yeah. But what's interesting at the top is that the Thunder are ducking. They're tanking games. I was talking to some people about it, and I've noticed it. Shea Gilgeous have been Iron Man the entire year. And as soon as it gets to this like weird kind of interesting seeding, they don't want to play the Lakers, the Thunder, or they don't want to play Golden State. They don't want to play either one. Like who's going to be 7 and 8. So I think the Thunder are going to try to position themselves to stay at that 3 seed. Because if they were to start today, they play Phoenix, and that's a much better matchup for the Thunder. Yeah. There is no real big, like who's going to kill them. Because the Thunder's Achilles heel is big man. They get killed by Sabonis. They get killed by Jokic. They get killed by AD. But there's no issue playing the Mavs or the how does the Pels play? How are the Pels against the Thunder this year?
I mean, it's kind of hit or miss. I mean, I think Zion is really the X factor when it comes to that because they have nobody with the physicality that can really go against him. So I think he hurts them in that instance. But I mean, it'll be one of those things where it's who can outperform Shea Gilgeous or CJ McCollum. I think that's going to be the biggest factor.
Shout out to Zion. He's had a great last couple months. He's looking strong. He's looking healthy. Yeah, he's Zion.
Work.
Yeah, if Zion steps on the court and decides, I'm going to dominate the game, I think the Pels can beat whoever they're matched up with.
No, I agree.
So
it's just up to Zion really how he wants to play. I think he definitely needs to take a page out of LeBron's book and dominate and learn when. And LeBron was excellent, especially early on in his career. When he dominated to a point, he knew and could see when the defense was attempting to send extra help and knew the point of attack. That way your man was forced to help to kick up for an open three-pointer.
He's like the best tactician at that.
Yes. Like people don't understand. And I mean, even, you try to instill that in younger kids and as they get older, but a lot of them don't know how to force two people, LeBron runs a game plan. He will pick and roll. He'll do the pick to get the switch and get your switch pick and roll to death and get that mismatch to make you adjust. And as soon as you send that double, he knows who's going to be open. He knows to play 3 plays ahead. And there's only a few players who know who knows how to play like that. And if Zion does develop that, shit. If Wemby develops that,
that is over.
Yeah, because people like Giannis, I think Joel still struggles with it at times because he's just so big and moving so fast. I just think that skill is it's a learned and acquired skill, but it takes you trying to also be a willing passer. Like a lot of people have that score first mentality. So when you do that, then oftentimes you're going so fast that you fuck up the pass or you throw it out of bounds because the dude's done shifted to the corner because he's trying to stay in your line of sight, but now you're trying to drive and kick it out to a wing and he's already moved to the corner so he could slide down there with you so it'd be easier and more in your vision. But it's things like that I think will take Zion to the next level to where we thought he could be at one point.
It's going to be exciting for sure.
Yes. If you're still here, appreciate y'all. We're going to wrap the episode up here, but make sure you come back next week because next Sunday will be the end of regular season basketball. All the matchups will be locked. Your boys will be doing playoff predictions. And then, of course, as we do every year, it'll be game-by-game reviews. We'll be breaking down, game 1 of this series, game 1 of that series, what it's looking like, and adjustments that need to be made. But with that being said, thank you for joining us on another episode of the From the Jump podcast. We out.
Peace.